Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Live Ones. Apologies for the lack of videos this week. We're getting on towards Christmas and my family's social calendar has just been really busy as of late. But if you've been following us on Twitter at Live One Sports, like you should be, right down here, you know we've been having a good string of 4 days here, 15, 10, and 1 since Saturday for a nice little plus 4.1 unit run. Feeling very good. I like these slow and steady advances. I like them to last a good long time. Big news ongoing today if you're a college football fan, as it's National Signing Day, and man, as if the prospects of Florida State football could not get any dimmer. They were set to sign the consensus number one recruit in high school nationwide, Travis Hunter, a wide receiver slash DB who had been committed to Florida State for more than 18 months, flipped his commitment to Deion Sanders, Jackson State. This move is one of the biggest surprises in National Signing Day history, and that is the signature recruiting win for Deion Sanders, who is himself a former Florida State Seminole. I can't even tell you how huge Jackson State's win over the Seminoles back in September really was. All other things aside, in terms of social importance, and trust me, I'm the absolute wrong person to comment on what this means in terms of social importance, I don't think this happens without that victory. I think that played such a huge role in this decision here. In related, more humorous news, go on Rivals or 24/7 Sports and check out the breakdown of the Big Ten's recruiting classes. Every single class in the Big Ten East is higher than all of the classes in the Big Ten West. It varies between the two sites' ranking orders specifically, but on both sites right now, it's 1 through 7 Big Ten East and then 8 through 14 Big Ten West. Ever since the conference split into the current divisional format in 2014, the East has won every single Big Ten championship. But for the bottom tier of the East in Rutgers, Indiana, and Maryland, the cross-divisional head-to-head record of the East would be even more dominant than it is already in the last 8 years. It's not to say that the Big Ten isn't the best conference in terms of top-to-bottom football talent, because it is. Just that, like, in any other conference, it has its haves and it has its have-nots. And in the current model, the haves are just all in the East. Short slate of action today, but there are some good plays nonetheless to keep our positive week going. Let's get right to them, and we're going to start in college basketball with Florida State and Lipscomb. Florida State's been a complete roller coaster of a team this year. They opened up top 25 with a dominating win over Penn, then they got punched in the mouth by Florida. They go on to win the Jacksonville Classic in dominating fashion. Then they barely survive in overtime against Boston U. Then they have the wheels completely fall off of them. Losing to Purdue, that's forgivable. Then to Syracuse at home, less so. Then a heartbreaker on the road against South Carolina. Now this team's just sitting at 5-4 right now and haven't covered a spread since November 22nd, and it's all on the wildly inconsistent offense. Sometimes they're untouchable from the floor, shooting 61%, and sometimes they shoot 4 of 30 from the arc, like they did against South Carolina. You just can't count on them to cover right now. And despite that, this line opened up with the Seminoles as an 18-point home favorite against the Bisons, and then shot up to 21 points right now. Sorry, I just don't trust that. That's way too many points. Florida State's shown me nothing the last 3 weeks to suggest they're getting it together on offense. I'm taking Lipscomb and the points here just on sheer principle. So then moving on to Texas State and Lamar, and this total opened up at 135 and plummeted through the floor to 131.5, and somebody's going to have to explain to me why. The Bobcats are maybe the most solid offense in the whole Sun Belt. They're shooting 50% from the floor and just shy of 39% from the arc. They're just a finely honed machine on the order of a Seiko watch that can and does put up tons of points when they need to. With that great starting trio of Caleb Asbury, Isaiah Small, and Mason Harrell, combining for 38 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals a game. They're all incredibly accurate shooters and great two-way players on defense to boot. The Lamar Cardinals at 2-8 play some of the saddest defensive basketball that you'll ever see. And the Bobcats should easily be able to put up a total in the low to mid-80s on them. And if they do, a Lamar total in the high 40s to low 50s gets you comfortably over this number, which Lamar can definitely do. Give me the over 131.5 points, absolutely, in this spot. Over to the NHL, and the Omicron variant is absolutely devastating NHL rosters right now in terms of benching lots of players as close contacts, and one of the teams really being affected right now is the Washington Capitals. They're down Garnett Hathaway, Nick Dowd, and Trevor Van Riemsdyk, guys who have combined for 10 goals and 13 assists in the Caps' 28 games so far. Add to that the fact that Nicholas Backstrom and Tom Wilson are both listed as questionable, and I think you can safely knock at least one goal off of the Caps' expected total tonight. Washington's weathered some bad storms with missing players and style this year, but this is a lot of guys to be down. Blackhawks have been playing better as of late after that abysmal start to the season and all the controversy they endured. They have not strung 2 wins or 2 losses together in their last 10 games. It's been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. They're coming off a heartbreaking loss to Toronto where they came all the way back from a 4-1 deficit to tie it, only to give up a goal in the last minute that put it away. I expect them to play the depleted Caps very tight tonight. I think they're actually a live home underdog. The Caps are playing shorthanded and banged up in a lot of key positions. Ilya Samsonov has not looked his best in goal the past 4 games. Honestly, he's really been let down by his defense a lot. He's had to face a ton of shots. I think of that Florida game, he had to face over 50 shots. Excuse me, it's not surprising. And Marc-Andre Fleury's actually been playing a lot better than he was at the beginning of the season. So I think there's value on the Blackhawks here straight up at plus 125. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Blackhawks money line tonight. Over to the NBA, and the first game that I'm looking at tonight is the Bucks and the Pacers. This is just a question of where in the world are the Bucks' points going to come from tonight. Giannis is out with COVID. Wesley Matthews Jr. is out with COVID. Dante DiVincenzo is out with COVID. Brooke Lopez is out with an injury. Chris Middleton is out with an injury. DeMarcus Cousins is out tending to a personal matter. I know the Pacers have not had a great track record against Milwaukee in the past couple of years, and they've been absolute dog shit on the road this year. But that's just an insane amount of talent for one team to be down. You're talking about a Bucks team that averages 110.7 points per game, being down guys that average a total of 75 of those 110 points. That's over 2/3 of your points per game. Not playing tonight. You can't just replace that. The Pacers are a 2.5-point favorite on the road tonight for a reason, but my goodness, why is the Bucks team total still as high as 107? Take the team total under in this spot all day. That's just an insane amount of talent the Bucks are going to be missing tonight. I don't know where their points are going to be coming from. Bucks team total under 107. So then over to the West Coast, the Grizzlies and the Trailblazers. And the Trailblazers have certainly missed Dame Lillard, haven't they? They were 1-9 against the spread and straight up over the last 10 games. They lost their last 5 at home. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies seem like they don't even notice the absence of Ja Morant. They've won 8 out of their last 9 games against the spread and straight up, including their last 4 road games. They've averaged 112.3 points per game over that stretch, and they're coming in to play Portland, the modern shining example of the NBA team that just does not believe in playing defense. Memphis' offense and that lightning-quick pace they run should just roll the Blazers up and down the court all night tonight. I'm liking the Memphis team total over 109.5 points tonight. That is my 5th and final play for the night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Wednesday night, and I will see you tomorrow.